at the last second. That was interesting. Always a technical issue with this software. Always. All right, guys, welcome back to the Automotive Podcast, where you don't have to build model cars, but it sure does help. This is episode 34, which will be our last episode for 2025 for season 2. So up front, thanks everybody for joining us this year. And down there in the Hollywood Squares box, we have Mr. John Hodgkins. You may recognize him off of Instagram as J-Dog. We're going to talk to him tonight about his excellent builds. And just seconds before we came on air, they were discussing model shows. So we're going to discuss his first experience of going to a small local show. You might have heard of it once, called NNL East. And we'll be interviewing John, doing our normal getting to know somebody, and a nice calmer show without quite so many people on this time. So, gentlemen, I would say I haven't seen everybody in 2 weeks, but I was just hanging out with James yesterday at the Cleveland Model Show. So, Sean, what's been going on for the last couple of weeks?
Let's see. I posted actually on my Facebook and Instagram today. So I've been working on the new AMT 65 Barracuda. So
that's cool.
They had supplied me with a test shot, advanced copy of this kit. So I've been working on that. There's a little bit of preview of the interior.
That's sweet.
And got the chassis. Work on that. So this is just a simple kind of out of the box build. I did flock the interior just because, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea.
Did you paint that straight?
No, I made my own decals for it.
Okay.
I didn't get any decals with the kit. And I knew I wanted the Formula S stripe on there. So,
okay.
Ironically, I have 2 original AMT Barracudas.
Worthless.
Yeah, it's not the first time. Yeah, they're systematically destroying my value of my collection. But anyways, I had prepared to build a stock 65 Barracuda with one of my original kits. So I'd already had the decals like designed, sized, printed, because I had that as a future project that I was working on. And so I'm like, well, I can just use them now. So that worked out. So yeah, I've been working on that little thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Went for the whole factory overspray and everything.
Yeah. So that's me. What do you like?
Say, Mr. Chester, I was over to your house, saw your projects. Anything you want to discuss?
I tried like hell to get the Lexus finished today. I got 2 of the 4 windows in, and just got 2 more windows and a couple of exhaust pipes, and it's finished. So
I like the red.
That's the wide body, fat bottom girl Lexus, yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And when Ben has been showing more and more pictures of the Ferrari 296, so it's going on sale real soon.
And all those liveries come in that box, right?
Correct.
All 6 liveries.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Say all 8.
Yeah, there's 8 of them.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So you need 2 more than you thought. See the man to my right for ordering information.
So let me get this correct. So there's 8 sets of decals, but you only get 1 model.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have to buy multiple kits.
Which ironically would then get you like 64 sets of decals.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why wouldn't I just put 1 decal set in a box? But I don't know. Whatever.
Well,
it would be hell to stock it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so you'd sell out of the one thing and then get stuck with something that I don't know, I don't really want that one, but it's not like a plastic kit where there's going to be, additional aftermarket for it where you can get the other decals. I mean, they probably sell the decals separately, but then again, James would be stuck in a decal stocking hell where he'd sell out certain sheets and be stuck with certain sheets for time immemorial.
That was going to be my question. If he's going to sell those decal sheets separately.
Wenben actually chimed in. Several types of coatings. It depends on how you put it. And common saying is 9 sets.
Fine. I stand corrected.
9 sets.
As I say, because I know if you look at the way those are set out, there's one car that's red on one side and yellow on the other side, and that is because that livery is very, very similar to one another. The same team ran Macau race last year, and so you get the set to do one or the other. It's not literally split down the middle like the demo is.
Although it's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Redundant.
I certainly understand where I don't want to paint a 9th one where you can just paint 8 and then split the decal down the middle like that. Makes sense. But I've seen a couple of comments where like, why is it only half the car? I don't want to build half of one, half the other. No, you get the whole thing. You just for the ease of display,
right?
Because I mean, eventually, I know that those guys go to 1 or 2 different like big trade shows in China. We've seen the pictures from those before, and like, do you really want to lug around that many resin bodies? No, cut one down and saves 3 pounds of resin you're hauling.
Although last year he did all of the Good Smile racing cars all on display at once.
Yes, that was very impressive, but that is also 18 different cars, not 18 of the same car.
Right.
I think that probably blends together to people after a certain time. It's like Miku, you just start getting fever dreams of spending 9 hours decal on a body, but be that as it may. I, as usual, without anything, I spent my Sunday with James. We went to they call it the Cleveland Model Show. I don't know if that's an attempt to not IPMS it, but it is an IPMS show. Pretty well attended. I would say there were probably about 500 models on the table across, all genres. Automotive was pretty heavy. I think heavier than some of the plane categories for sure. If not, maybe some of the. I think it might have been heavier than if you looked at automotive versus each individual category, I think there might have been more cars there than there was any other one thing, because there were certainly more cars than there were ships, more cars than there were figures and anime. And I think it may have been more cars there than there was armor as well. But, that's hard to tell because then armor gets split into, 1945 pre-Nazi, post-Stalin, hard soft skin armor. And it's like, okay, sure, that I didn't realize it was a thing, but here we are. So Mr. Tester is now the proud owner of an aeroplane.
Yeah,
so I'm waiting to see when this model kit gets built.
In my spare time, I'll build it.
Yeah, okay, because there's so much of that.
Right. I actually bought a 1/32 scale Tamiya kit of an airplane. He went in, got everything. Yeah.
As I say, went in full-fledged, guys. One like a 1/72 scale, throw it together on the weekend thing. One to 1/48 scale. No, went full bore 1/32 scale Tamiya, which I mean, good choice because it'll go together. But
I looked it up. It's 15.5 inches by 15 inches long. 15 long, 15.5 wide. It won't fit in my IKEA cabinet.
Is that the first plane kit you ever bought?
Yeah. Yep.
What possessed you to buy that?
I don't know.
You didn't have.
Right, because I didn't have one.
It's a blue deal,
and it's blue too. So it's not gray or silver or brown. It's blue. So
yeah, he has himself a Corsair, which for the people who've seen one before, those are the very dark semi-gloss blue planes. So
yeah,
good choice. It's not a P-51. You didn't fall into that trap. So I mean, it's something that not everybody has one of. So look forward to seeing that in March at the Pittsburgh show.
Okay. All right. It'll be the shiniest plane you've ever seen.
Well, I mean, yeah, go talk to Mr. Hansk over there. He built that NASA Chase plane. It's gloss white. He can tell you all about building planes that are solid semi-gloss colors. He's now a professional.
John, have you ever built a plane?
I have 2 plane kits, both A10 Warthogs. Haven't started either of them, and I don't know that I will. But I've been collecting all the photo etch and all the resin parts for the Great Wall Hobby A10 that just came out about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm finally going to do it. I want the best kit, the best A10 kit that they make, and all the stuff to go with it. and it sits in a box. It'll stay sitting in a box for a while.
I actually have built a few plane kits in my day, but none for myself. I was trying to get my kids into modeling, and I was like, we'll pick out something and we'll build it together. And of course, my sons picked planes, so like, all right. So I kind of helped them through that, and then I had a friend of mine that was really into remember Space in 1999.
Mhm.
Yeah.
AMT makes whatever that spacecraft is. I don't know. He bought that thing and was like, "Hey, I bought this. I want you to build it for me." And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
Ended up spending a weekend and building that thing. So, anyways, that was my brief flirtation with things that don't have wheels.
Things that sort of fly. I don't know if that actually flew or not. It could have had wheels on it, didn't it? Or no, I'm thinking of the actual like landing craft that's they also did.
Yeah. I've never built one out of my own.
Oh, Onyx says it's Eagle.
The Eagle. Yeah, that's the Eagle.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
correct.
That makes sense.
Now that I remember it.
So I saw up there in the comments somewhere modeling and retirement. Ken was on there. So how you doing, Ken? I know we saw you guys. We saw you there yesterday. I'm sorry, I shook your hand, so I know I saw you yesterday.
And it was nice enough. He introduced. I met him in the Akron show. Yeah. And nice guy.
Yeah, his YouTube channel is doing well too.
So we'll definitely have to, if he's willing, consider dragging him on here, kicking and screaming next year in 2026. So, Mr. John, I have, to the detriment of your budget, the ability to like pay your mortgage and stuff like that, shown you the light that is Hobby Easy, which is a Hong Kong-based online retailer. And I know that you've purchased a number of things that you showed the other day. Kind of into the ape camo livery there, aren't you?
I am. I've always been into camo anyway. I started, I don't know, early on wearing BDU pants all through high school. I don't know why. Always wanted to be in the military. Was never eligible to be in the military. And just kind of wanted to paint everything camo that I could possibly paint camo. Done enough tanks, and then I saw James's YouTube video with the Bathing Ape pink camo GTR.
Right.
And I was like, yep, gotta have one of those.
Then
after a little bit more research, there's an Aventador. There's two Audis. There's a GT3 AMG car, all in the camo. I'm like, yep, I got to do all of those. So I have collected all of the livery decals and all of the models to do all 5.
And I think we have a R34 coming out pretty soon too.
Yeah, that's super silhouette tribute type of car. Yeah.
Right.
See, this for me, this was like the perfect, introduction to your stuff, because like it's everything that I like. Imports, like stance imports, and modern race cars. And a guy who's willing to sit there and suffer through hours worth of decals. So like okay, John, I think I'd be friends with John. This is great. I don't even know what I because like Sean follows you on Instagram and knew who you were. I had just known you basically because he had suggested to have you on here, and then you had messaged me, saying that you had like watched a couple of old episodes and you now understood what Sean was asking you to come do in the first place. And but I was not. I looked at Instagram tonight before we came on, and I guess you follow me because I had the option to follow you back. So apologies for not following you back, but I don't play with my Instagram that much. And so I was not aware of like the things you had built in the past. So it was great to see when you sent the pictures over that we'll talk about all the things that you've done, because some of that stuff is just ridiculously cool. But it's like, but as an introduction, it's like, hey, he builds the same stuff that I like. Yay!
Poor Sean.
Well, and I first noticed your models at NNL East last year. So I had seen your Ford pickup, or not a pickup, your Ford like F-250 or F-350. I think it's a welding truck.
Yep.
With sort of a patina. And I saw that on a table, and actually me and Jeff Bloomhoff were looking at it, and we were like, man, this thing's amazing. We're really, and then I was like, I wonder who built that. And then I think I saw it on Instagram, and that's when I was like, oh, let me look at this guy. I was like, oh man, he's built all kinds of cool stuff. And so I started following him, like, oh, he really builds all kinds of different genres of things. And I think, yeah, that truck there.
That's cool.
So tell us a little bit about this. I'd like to know more. Like, what was your inspiration behind building this, and tell us about the details.
It was for a build off that I was asked to join a four-person group, and so I knew I had to try to represent it as best as I could. I'm a part of Scale Speed Garage, and what that is it's a digital magazine, they say, of file packs that come out monthly. The file pack the month before that happened to be the welding bed, the welder, a couple of the accessories to go with it. And my wife and I were out in Colorado a couple of years ago, and I saw one of these jacked up, brand new F-250 welding trucks, and just fell in love with the truck. It's just all that I really love anyway. 4-wheel drive, jacked up pickup trucks. And I'm like, I'm gonna take that Scale Speed Garage file pack and just jam it on one of these new Mobius pickups. And I think the body, some of the interior, and part of the chassis are the only thing that was left from the Mobius kit. The rest of it is all Scale Speed Garage. It's got a 12-valve Cummins under the hood. And I just like that patina look. Really enjoy doing that stuff because I did a lot of that when I was building tanks as well.
Okay.
It's just, I hear it all the time, like, patina is for people who can't paint. Well, that is partially true because I really can't paint that great sometimes. Other times, all the stars align and I don't get dog hair in the paint and the paint comes out great. But patina is a whole nother level of, you have to plan ahead.
Yeah.
To do patina.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of hairspray chipping, and that's what that's mostly done with. So you put your base layer down, you spray hairspray, you put like a Tamiya with the X20 thinner on it, paint it as normal, and while it's still kind of wet, you use a wet paintbrush and chip the top paint layer off, exposing that base layer.
Huh.
It's just a very interesting technique that transferred over from the armor building time. So, and I
I heard of people using salt too.
Yep.
Yep.
Same kind of method that you put the salt down over the base, paint it, and then use water to take the salt off.
Okay.
Kind of the same method, but with hairspray chipping, you can really figure out where you want the chips and how much patina you really want. Where the salt method it works great for larger areas, but say you just wanted a couple of little tiny chips on a door frame, the hairspray chipping is so much easier to get really small details chipped.
You really select where you want to remove it. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. I've been kind of curious. I've been wanting to build something like that. I have done a little bit of weathering and patina, not quite to that level, but you're right that there's a whole level of skill that's very different from, being a shiny polished paint job. I think they're equally challenging in their own ways.
Right.
They're sort of one thing I think is cool about the patina stuff is there's sort of like an artistic freedom, and you can kind of just sort of the more you add to it, the better it gets. But you're right in how you remove or how you select, what gets patina. It's
Yep.
That's a big part of it. So that's really cool. It sounds like you can do 3D printing as well.
Yeah. Yep,
what machines do you have, and tell us all the particulars?
I was given an Elegoo Mars 2 Pro because guy had an extra one, wanted to get me into it. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And with the idea behind it that I was going to help him print and sell parts. Okay. Got that running and was instantly hooked. I can make my own wheels. I can make my own engines in better quality than the kits can. So I immediately bought an Elegoo Saturn, and then that wasn't quick enough to keep up with the production of printing and selling. So then I bought a Saturn 2, and at one point I had all three machines running almost 24 hours a day.
Wow.
And it's another hobby on top of modeling. And it just became so time consuming. And I don't print commercially anymore. If buddies want stuff printed, I know Sean, you and I have talked about printing some stuff. That's perfectly fine. I just don't print commercially anymore. It just took too much time. I'd rather build models than sit behind the laptop and slice files. It's super time consuming.
Now, have you designed your own CAD models and stuff too, or?
No, not more than taking somebody's existing file and either like stretching it or shrinking it, or I've taken valve covers and added logos to them.
Okay.
But that's about it. Like I don't have that skill at all.
Okay.
I'd love to learn. I tried to teach myself Fusion 360 over the summer. And I got a little ways with it, and then nope, I just don't have it.
There's a whole learning curve to this.
There is.
And it's time. Yeah.
And it's another hobby on top of that hobby, on top of another hobby. There's people that can make amazing files, and you buy them and you print them and they're perfect. But there's a ton of people out there that sell really, really crappy files that will never print. Or I just recently bought an engine file for this GTR I'm building. Spent like $18 on this file. Not a big deal, but it's an expensive engine file. And I probably have 20 hours into fixing it to get it to print most of the way.
That's a shame.
It's horrible.
Especially $18. If it was $5, I would get it. But $18 is high end for a file.
Right. And this was just, it looks like a video game scan file more than anything. But there was pictures of it with him. It's a printed version in my hand. It looks great. I'm like, all right, I'll take a chance. $18. All right, whatever. No, it's garbage right from the start.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have a page on Instagram. How did you? You don't have a YouTube channel or anything like that, right?
Nope, not at all.
So where are you located? How'd you get into model car building?
In upstate New York, right outside Albany, really. How I got into it, I remember building models as a kid. I was big into NASCAR growing up, and I think I spent most of my childhood just taking things apart. You name it, didn't matter what it was, but I took it apart. I think at some point my parents were just like, all right, you can take stuff apart. Here, try to build something.
Put it back together.
Yeah, put this back together.
Because I remember the testers, tube glue, and the only model memory that I really have as a kid was screwing up the details on I think it was a number 46 city NASCAR from Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder,
Okay.
yeah.
I screwed up the decals and I wrote the 46 on the side of the car with those old testers paint pens. So you can imagine how shitty that was. That's the only model that I can really remember as a kid. And then I know I built through high school because at some point when we moved from Maine to here, I boxed up 2 kits that I had. And just before COVID, and I have no idea why I brought these out. Like I don't know what the trigger was, but I had an old Revell Porsche GT1 Evo kit and a Revell Cyclone kit. I put those together and I'm like, yeah, I could do this again. And just haven't put them down at all.
That's cool.
So
All through COVID.
And
Like-
so you're one of the COVID joiners. With the hobby really got a big dose of people either becoming involved or coming back
Yeah.
with that sort of free time that everybody got given that nobody asked for.
Exactly. I mean, I've built 1-to-1 scale cars kind of since I was in high school. A lot of Jeeps, a lot of off-road stuff. A couple years before COVID, I bought a 62 Impala project car. I mean, these are all project cars that I've built. And COVID hit and the prices just kind of went out of control for body parts, for engine parts. You name it, it went out of control. So maybe that was the trigger that put me back into modeling, and
Models
just
are cheap.
Yeah,
Models are cheap compared to real stuff. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I remember pre-COVID, I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, model cars are really a dying hobby. I probably need to sell all my stuff and get out of it while I still can. And it was like, and then, man, it was just like, whoop, did a pivot, and it surprised me because I thought, I was like, okay, once things sort of return to normal, it'll go back. But there's a lot of people who have stayed with it.
Yeah, there really is.
Round 2's doing great. Like, they keep pumping out more and more new product every year. So that's good.
Right. About the same time like the war in Ukraine started, and I'm like, all right, I want to build all the Ukraine tanks. I want to build all the US tanks. So I got into the armor stuff for about a year, spent building nothing but tanks, and just kind of drifted back into cars after that. Been doing them ever since. Haven't touched another tank since.
And you were telling us you had never been to the NNL East this past year. Was the first model show you'd ever been to.
Yep.
That's amazing because that's a huge show.
You just start at the top, right?
Yeah, so you walk right off that plank right on into the deep end there.
Apparently, I was looking for a show to go to that wasn't IPMS judged because I didn't want to get judged. I didn't want that mental like, oh, your stuff is garbage. Don't ever come back. And was like, all right, there's a small show that's local to us. It's right down in New Jersey, 2 hours away, no problem. I'm like, yeah, that's the biggest show on the East Coast. Oops, I didn't know that. When we got there, the line was out around the building, down the side of the doors. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, yeah, this is big. But had a great time. I got 2 of my models photographed, for one for each of the magazines that were there. Automodeler put one of the pictures of one of my builds in their magazines, so that was pretty cool for the first show that I went to have that happen.
The first show, right?
I was pretty stoked on that one.
No, you're doing amazing work. And the other thing that I think one of the other reasons I started following you is, so I like overland style trucks, and rigs. And I know you built a couple things like that. And the Bronco that you'd built,
Yep.
the little yellow one. I don't know, James, if you've got pictures of that one.
I
Caught
think so.
my eye too. It's like, that thing is really cool. And what inspired you to build that?
Thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. That was for a SEMA themed build off on the model car build off on Instagram. And I was lucky enough to go to SEMA a couple of years, and I was still into the 4-wheel drive stuff when I went. So I went and spent the whole time looking at the new Bronco, the new Jeeps, all the 4-wheel drive stuff. And when I was asked to do the SEMA themed build off, I'm like, well, yeah, Bronco, no problem. It had just come out. And again, Scale Speed Garage came up with a whole bunch of add-ons for that kit. Wheels, tires, the tent with a little ladder, the bumpers, front and rear, those were all Scale Speed Garage. That had a Motoboss Coyote 5-liter in it.
Right. And it has a camo tent.
Right, and the camo tent, of course.
There, yeah. Yeah, I thought this was really cool.
Did you have to scale the Motoboss engine, or was it kind of the right size and you just kind of made it fit?
It was actually the perfect size for that. I built 2 of those engines. I put one in the Mang F350 and one in that Bronco, and same size engine, and just I think I had to flip the intake on one of them. I can't remember which kit I had to flip the intake.
Okay.
But the breather was the only difference.
Okay.
And I noticed you got is it working LEDs in the headlights?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Neat.
And you can't see it in the picture, but on the firewall is the button to control the headlights. Like, it's all hidden.
Very cool.
Between the dashboard and the firewall, except that little button.
Yeah, neat stuff. I noticed you had working headlights in your other truck the welding truck too.
Yes. Yep. Which is very strange that the batteries died during the show when the headlights went out in that truck. They're supposed to be good for 3,000 hours.
Huh.
Nope. I came back to check on it. Headlights are out.
Oh, wow.
But
did you wire that yourself, or did you just buy a kit?
They're a kit through Evans Designs. They're mostly like model railroading light kits.
Okay.
But it's basically a button and a battery pack, which is like the little 3-volt button batteries.
Okay.
And then the LED just wire together.
friend of mine is doing a police car with, like strobe lights and all that. I think he got it from the same place.
Probably. I did a Mitsubishi Evo police car, and he used their strobe police lights.
Okay.
They're great little kits. They don't take up a lot of space, and they're really simple to wire in.
Okay.
I have to give that a try. I've never thought about putting any working lights in anything.
The Bronco had, I think, headlights and taillights. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
I like its sticker bomb fender.
That's cool.
I like the pig face at the police thing. Ha ha ha. So, this is
you built something for everybody.
Let's say this is not just your off-the-shelf Aoshima kit here. This is the Hobby Design Varus body kit on this.
Correct. Yep.
All right. So let's say pause, because I mean Aoshima did do this. I think it's Soul or something like that police car that's black and white. But this is not that kit. This is this is way beyond that, because if anybody's ever had the fun of meshing a Hobby Design body kit into an actual model kit, that's sometimes not the easiest path to travel.
That is the police car kit, but it is the Yaris or Varus front fender kit.
Okay.
Cool. You might be the first person I've ever seen actually built that. I've seen a lot of people like hold up the box. I bought this thing, but like so many things, you don't ever see anyone actually build the thing after they bought it.
So what inspired you to build that? It's such a contrast between that and the trucks.
I don't really know how I transfer between trucks and tanks and imports and American built cars. I have no idea. It's just kind of whatever the mood strikes, and
you get inspired by something, and
yeah, I'll be scrolling through Instagram someday and be like, "Yep, I gotta build that." Do they make a kit? Yes, they do. All right, buy it.
Now, are the sticker bomb, is that all one decal sheet, or is that a bunch of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Zoom on?
Zoom on, I think, does that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That whole genre is just completely not in my wheelhouse. I have no idea even what exists, or.
Boy. So, sometime when you come over, Sean, I'll tour of Italy, tour of Japan, right?
That stuff is way under my radar, but it's cool. Like I really dig it.
Yeah, I discovered that you can import kits from Hobby Link Japan, and I'm like, really? Okay, that opens up a whole new realm. And then James turned me on to Hobby Easy. I'm like, oh, they have twice as much stuff. This is going to get
trouble.
I was like, this is another good example, because this is just a display picture. It's not nothing crazy, but these are, again, a couple of kits. I've seen people in Japan build them, but I don't know if I know anybody else in the United States has ever built either one of these super silhouette cars.
Right.
Because me personally, I'd love to see these redone, because they're toys underneath. Like the bodies are good and all that, but the actual kit itself is pretty mediocre. But like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? Like, again, these may be the only two in the United States that exist in completed form, as far as I know. I've seen very few of these, done. I think you probably, if you're building these for the racing aspect of it, you have to kind of have a background in like why anyone would have done this in the first place. But they're just cool kits in general.
Right. And those were both built in 24 hours.
What?
Both of them in 24 hours?
Every year when they run the 24 hours of Le Mans, there's a Facebook group that does a 24-hour build. Starts at noon, ends at noon, and it's pretty open to whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's Gary Kolchuk's group, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the second year that I did it. The first year I built just a plain basic S10 because I didn't know, all right, 24 hours, it's not really a lot of time, but it's enough time. So I played it really safe. And then this year, or this last year, I built these two. I'm like, they're really basic kits. Like you said, there's not much to them.
But still, that's a lot to do in 24 hours.
Yeah. I'm trying to think through the logistics of painting, having enough time to dry so I can apply decals. How's that? Hydrator. Okay.
Yep. Paint one, or paint the black on both of them. Put them both in the dehydrator. Go take a nap. Work on the interior, and like 2 hours at 90 degrees in a dehydrator, they'll almost take tape. 3 or 4 hours, it's dry. It's good to go.
I just got one, a dehydrator, a little while ago.
It's a game changer. It really is.
Yeah, I shot 2K in the morning, and it was cured by the end of the day. I was like, wow, there we go.
Huh.
Sean, the new Chrome that you just tried out, the Fusion Chrome, 4 hours in a dehydrator, and you can touch that.
Oh wow!
You have to still be careful with it,
right?
It's not 5 to 6, 7 plus days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would really accelerate. I mean, I don't really build that fast that I need to do that, but for somebody like James Tester who's building stuff in a matter of a couple of days, like I could see that'd be.
It takes me a month to build something, so that should speed things up.
Huh.
It's super convenient. It really is, and they're dirt cheap, especially like at a Goodwill. There's hundreds of them.
I bought one on Amazon. It looks like a little microwave. It was like $80, and you can fit a car on a stand in it. So yeah, perfect.
I say, and those are good choices for a 24-hour build. If you've done it for a couple of years now, one of my favorite sports is right for Christmas when people start piling in there. It's I'm going to build this incredibly complicated, doesn't fit together in the first place AMT MPC kit, and then I'm going to insert a litany of body modifications and things like that. It's like you're no, this is not physically possible in 24 hours. Even if you stayed up the whole 24 hours, it's just not something that's going to happen. There has to be something that you can, because because you did too. You got to paint it and have it in paint, like in like the first 2-3 hours, so that it has time to dry, and you work on everything else. Then you take a nap, and then at the very end you come back in the morning and put it all together. And Bob's your uncle, and I've done it a couple of times when I wasn't working weekends, and you can build a model kit in 24 hours. It's not going to be award winning by any imagination, but you can get it done. It's just like the subject you pick, and then what you think you're going to do to it in that 24 hours, and it's
being realistic.
Yeah, it's very chaotic if you sit there and you watch that group in real time on the Saturday night into Sunday morning, and it's 3-4 hours in. It's like, oh, I've stripped the body 4 times and they're out, and it's like, I was gonna do all these body modifications and the putty won't dry. They're crashing off the side of the road, and it's like curbside. Build something curbside. All these Craftsman Plus kits that Ron threw are doing, perfect for that.
Yeah,
perfect, because that's a body. It's a body thing. Paint it the way you want to. Get the paint all done nice, and you just casually go about your day with the rest of it. But you start building a full detail kit, anything with an engine and everything like that, it starts becoming a problem. And if you start, I'm gonna make this a convertible. Okay, are you? Okay, you're not gonna finish. I can tell you right now, that's a bad idea.
This year, the optional building is 1/20th scale, because it's the 20th anniversary of them. So I've got 2 kits I'm going to choose from. I'm either going to do the Lindbergh 1/20th scale Toyota pickup, or I've got a 1/20th scale AMX.
Okay.
Neither are a good choice.
I'd build the Toyota. I've got a couple of the 1/20th scale kits still left over from when I was a teenager, and those 1/20th scale Lindbergh kits, the Craft House era stuff, they're good kits. That 90s Lindbergh stuff was good stuff.
Yeah,
I've got the reboxed. Who reboxed it? Was it
AMT.
AMT? I've got the AMT rebox of it.
Yeah.
I was always so bummed when they made those kits. I was like, why are these in 1/20th scale? Like it's like a weird, because they were nice kits, to your point, James. They were, I remember when they came out, and so I owned an S10 pickup at the time, and I was desperate for like an S10 model, and they came out with one, and it was 1/20. It was like a weird scale. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
I think all of those kits would have sold so much better if they were just in regular scale. The
Yeah.
Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Ford Explorer Sport.
Yeah, they had a bunch.
They technically didn't need the Camaro, although the Firebird was a Firehawk, so that was something different than what was being done at the time. But like the Toyota pickup, the Nissan pickup, they had all of those super esoteric, technically speaking, subject matter, and it would have all, I think a lot of people skipped them because of the scale. They went 1/20th, and then it's a perfectly serviceable good kit. If you've ever built, let's see, the either the 64 Dodges, what was it? It was a 61 Impala they did. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, did a bunch of 90s era muscle cars that AMT also has reboxed since then. Like they're all great kits. They were good, they were state of the art for the time in the 90s, and that 1/20 scales were the same thing. But they were wrong scale. Pass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, they finally relented and pivoted to 1/25th scale, but
it was Ernie Pettis' influence, the guy that made the 1/20th MPC AMX. So, and he was convinced he was going to change the world, make 1/20th the scale. He tried to have two different companies, and it didn't work either time. It's like 1/25th and 1/24th is already a battle royale as it is. Like, oh, that's that 1/2 of a millimeter is too much of a difference. I can't collect both.
It is to me.
I say it really becomes a difference when the kit's like 3 inches bigger than the other kit is.
So, what else do you have pictures of John's builds?
I was just gonna say the other thing that I had already brought up here because I like this. So therefore we're going to talk about it. Is this because I think this is, again, you look at it and you're like, oh, I know what this is, but I think this is a couple of different things combined into one. So it's the overall, you've got a weathering patina thing going on here as well. The overall thing, it's the Paris-Dakar Rally theme, so I like that. So because that's a little on the obscure side, because it's a rally that not everybody knows. But isn't this a C1 conversion for the Revell monogram Land Rover?
Correct. Yep.
See, I thought so.
The Spectre truck, right?
I thought this was a very Spectre-y looking thing.
It is the Spectre Land Rover kit. My brother-in-law is huge into Rovers, and I was like, all right, I'm going to build you one of these. He's a big James Bond guy. I'm like, all right, you can either have a Spectre one or you can have Camel Trophy, because he's passionate about both of those. And he's like, you've got to do a weathered Camel Trophy truck. Done. Perfect. Thankfully, I already have the Camel Trophy decals. But yeah, that's a C1 kit on that Revell, which you really only use part of the frame of the Revell kit and the clear lenses. I think that's all you use from maybe some of the interior tub.
I'm gonna say the C1 kits are pretty complete.
I have the Spectre kit and sort of opened it up and then compared it to the Land Rover kit from Revell, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So it's been sitting.
Absolutely no directions.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chris is a great guy, but no instructions whatsoever. Good luck.
None. I mean, there's a couple of videos about how the suspension goes together, but that's it. Like, this is the 4-door short bed version.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 108 or 110 wheelbase. Well, the Revell is only like 90. So you have to lengthen the frame somewhere. But it never tells you in the directions where to lengthen anything. So at some point between where the suspension mounts, you have to cut it and just compare wheelbases. And thankfully, I've done that in the one-to-one side enough that I'm like, all right, if I just match up the wheelbase to the wheelbase, divide it by 24, I'll get pretty close. And there was a lot of cutting and hacking and pushing and pulling back and forth. What's really nice is the Revell frame is kind of like a C channel. So I just put a strip of styrene in between and just kind of moved it back and forth enough times and like, all right, yep, that's 108-inch wheelbase or 110, whatever it is now.
Weld it.
Yeah, that's really super cool. And you got all the overlanding gear from other sources?
I think all the overlanding gear is all from a black box file.
Okay.
I believe. But there's probably scale speed stuff mixed in there, but I think a lot of it is the black box.
Yeah. You need that, don't you, Sean?
I do.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Yeah. That's
and I like the overall look here. It's got weathering. It's, and it's not over the top. It's nicely done. Gives you the idea that obviously this is, very well used, but it's not. I've often said that I appreciate the people that can weather well, because it's very easy to, again, make it look like you ran it outside and through the dog's business and then came back inside. Oh, look, it's weathered. No, it's not. It's just kind of junk. This is it's not subtle because you can clearly see it, but it's, again, it's not like, it's not ham-fisted, I guess would be the best way to put it. I like the way this is done a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I'm guessing you use some airbrush techniques in there as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Because even the windows are well done, and that's a hard thing to do correctly. If there's a way to be correct about it, it's done well.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because a lot of people will weather the windows and you just can't see through them, and it's like, okay, now how am I driving this again? Because like I can't see out.
just enough, but not.
Yeah, you went past dirty, and now it's just derelict sitting out in the yard for 20 years. It's like that. There's a fine line there, and you managed to get on the right side of it.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Now, do you use any washes or chalks in combination with airbrushing, or is it just airbrushing?
I use some like dry pigments.
Okay.
A lot. A lot of that is Vallejo Air dust effect, just acrylic paint that you can mist off, but you can also kind of pull some of it away if you need to. Like on the windows, you can kind of take a Q-tip after the fact while it's still damp and brush some of the paint away. So it's still creases of the windows, but not all over.
Okay.
And
it's a whole different set of skills.
Yeah.
which carried over from the tank stuff, because they use all oils and washes and pigments and this and that, and I have it all. So I'll try some of those effects on this, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And thankfully, a lot of the pigments are water-based.
Yeah.
And once they dry, you just take a paintbrush and brush them off and start again.
Have you tried the trying to think what brand makes it? I think AK makes it a bunch of different, but the pencils, the silver pencil to chip rather than actually doing the hairspray stuff.
Yep. I've got a couple of the pencils. Haven't messed with them enough to get good at it, because when they're wet, they work very boldly, but when they're dry, they barely work. So that there's got to be a fine line somewhere in there. But or maybe let it dry a little bit and then start using them. I don't know. I haven't played with them enough to really figure them out.
So they would be handy for, the sort of the errant rock chip and things like that, and on a car, rather than spray painting the whole thing and hairspray and then coming back and trying to get the paint back off. I mean, a lot of us use lacquer paint, and trying to hairspray chip lacquer paint's a pain in the butt anyway, because it's usually a pretty tough thing to get back through, solubility wise with the water. So
you have a very, very short window. It can be done, but you have a very short window until it's not going to chip anymore. But it actually works kind of to your favor a little bit, where if you have a specific spot you're trying to get a chip, all around it is going to be, you're going to kind of beat the paint up anyway right there.
Okay.
And get your chip, so it kind of dulls the paint, so it's not just one chip and perfect paint all around it. It kind of helps, but it's a super short window for lacquer paint and hairspray chipping. The X20A and the Tamiya, you can do days later, hours later, days later, and the water will still break through the Tamiya and chip it.
More overland.
Overland, yeah. Yep. Where did you find a Jeep body?
That's two Andre Bezrani files.
Okay.
Mashed together.
Oh wow!
So they never made a two-door Chief before, I think, like 82. But they never used the rhino nose grill after like 78 or 79. And I had a J truck that had this rhino nose on it, and I just love that nose on that era Jeep. And I knew I wanted to build a two-door Cherokee, so I took the two files and mashed them together and digitally, and then printed it like that. That's the most kind of I can do in the 3D world, is take what somebody else has created and bend to my
bend to my will.
Yeah.
You actually merged them in the 3D file first before you printed them.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I just sliced the nose off of one and sliced the body off of the other one and roughly joined the two.
That's very cool.
And the trailer is the Jeep body off of one of his other files. Just kind of hacked the body off of the bed and just used the bed off the Jeep truck.
Is that one of his older files? I don't remember seeing that in this. Okay.
Yep, it's back when they were just the black and white drawn pictures.
Okay. One of his deep cuts.
Yeah. I think those are all $5 files at this point. Yeah. They're way back.
Yeah.
But when I got my printers, I'm like, is there any Jeep stuff available? Oh, yes, there is. Yes.
Yeah.
And those are one of the first things I went after when I got a big enough printer that I could print a body. Like,
and a modern Jeep Gladiator pickup too in his older stuff.
Yep.
And this qualifies as now for something completely different.
Wow. Yeah.
Looks like another SEMA build, but from a different era.
Right? I grew up driving S10s. I had a half a dozen of them at one point. I would drive another S10 today if I didn't live in the Rust Belt. I would probably drive S10s.
Mr. Duff and I both had S10s at one point in time.
Yeah. I had one way back when.
and like the mini truck era. I read mini truck in high school,
Yeah.
trucking all through high school. Like I've still got magazines of that. So that's just kind of my gig right there, wrapped into one.
Now, does the bed articulate, or is that fixed in position there?
It's fixed.
Okay. Looks cool. And how did you do the hexagon pattern?
There's I don't even know the brand that makes them, but there's pre-cut decals or pre-cut stickers, basically.
Okay.
That
Okay. For masking, yeah.
it has the positive and the negative masking,
Ah.
and the whole thing was white, and I put those on there and then sprayed the blue.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I saw it and I was like, man, that would have been really kind of a pain to sit there and kind of trim all that out by hand.
I couldn't even imagine that. Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Is the frame 3D printed?
Nope, that's actually, I think, all but the speakers is all from the kit.
Okay.
The speakers and the bed riser. I designed the bed riser. That's okay. So it was two little triangles. So I guess I can design a little bit. But I had to have it the corner of the bed touches the ground because the bed is so full of speakers that the 3D printed riser wouldn't support it. So I had to have that third leg of kind of weight distribution on it.
Right. It was probably a real world problem back then.
Yeah, right.
It's a very, very, very period. Very period.
90s period, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. The decals are from the I think it's Tamiya GTR kit.
Yeah, that pink
Okay.
one, the Le Mans kit. Yeah.
Yep, the pink one. Yep.
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it brings back memories of that era.
Right? The best time in mini trucks.
So how long ago did you build it? It wasn't built back in that era, right? This is more of a modern build.
I built that last winter, I think,
Yeah.
because I gave it to a buddy at NNL East who came
Very
up.
cool.
I brought it in, he took it home. So
Neat.
To answer Kevin in the chat, no, John doesn't have a YouTube channel. He does have an Instagram. The link to his Instagram is in the description of the video. Doesn't matter which one of the channels you're watching. It's down there. So you can click it and find it without having to search for it. Let's see here. We've got, speaking of trucks, let's see. Stop that. Start this. Was this built for the theme this year at NNL, or is it just happens to be a Ford truck that you just did?
Just happened to be another truck that I did with no. I don't remember why that was built. I do a lot of build offs because it just kind of keeps the start and the end kind of finite, I guess. Like I like a goal to start and finish because otherwise I'd just drag stuff on and get distracted halfway through and put it away, build something next. And
do you build one at a time, or do you build like several at a time? What's typical for you?
Typical, I usually do two because I'm fairly impatient and just want to jam stuff together and get fingerprints all over the wet paint. So if I paint over here, put it away, and then do something over here, then this gets to dry. And so usually two is pretty typical. Every once in a while, I'll throw a third one in and just get it to the point where I'm doing paint and body, and then just let the body sit until I'm ready for it.
Mm.
But Yeah, any more than 2 or 3, I'm not in my good space to be comfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
You build like every day or like once a week or like what?
I try to do something every day. I build at our dining room table,
Okay.
so I don't have a. I mean, I airbrush and everything in the basement. My 3D printers are in the basement, but I don't build down there. I build right at our dining room table. So I get home from work, I can put some decals on, or throw the next layer of paint on the engine, or do something a little bit every day. On my days off, I could sit for 20 minutes, or I could sit for 5 or 6 hours at a time building. It's very rare that I'll go 2 or 3 days without touching it. Whatever project I'm on. So it's a pretty constant movement of work.
I think you mentioned building like real cars too, like 1-to-1 scale stuff. Is
Mhm.
that
Which I haven't touched my Impala since COVID,
okay?
and I've found as much joy in building model cars as I do in real car in 1-to-1 stuff. And it's way cheaper, and I can build a Rover today. I can build a GTR tomorrow. It doesn't matter. It's so easy to transition as the mood strikes, I guess.
Right.
Where 1-to-1, all right, you're going to build that for the next 3 or 5 years, and you can't just swap it out for something else. You can, but it's going to cost you. But
Turn into the Facebook Marketplace guy. I know what I have. Say, I just, this is great because you build so many genres across the board, because you can just whiplash back and forth, because like all of a sudden, like, oh, okay, now we're over here now.
yeah.
Now we're in Pro Mod IROC Z.
Yep. For another build off, it was, I don't know if it was Camaro based or if it was, I don't remember. But the IROC kit is a dirt cheap kit that I didn't mind hacking apart. I really don't mind hacking apart most any kits, but the cheaper, the easier they are to cut up and not worry about it too much.
Now, is this one of the Revell like pro stock kits that you started with, or was this a stock Camaro IROC?
That's just the cheap Hobby Lobby $18 stock IROC
Okay.
kit.
And then where did the chassis come from?
The chassis is a Mirror Creations, MUUR Creations.
3D
And
file.
3D file. He does a ton of these Pro Mod chassis, and they fit like a glove to the car that he designs them around. He's got them from Mustangs. He's got them Camaros. He just did an AE86 that's coming out pretty soon, and they fit great.
A Pro Mod AE86.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to get that one because I've got it.
You gonna make a tofu car?
Hopefully, yeah. That's the plan. I've got a couple of those kits to do. So, Pro Mod one of them, sure. I built this alongside an AMX with that same chassis.
Okay.
Not the same size car at all. So I had to take that chassis and just kind of hack off what I didn't need to fit. And it worked. I mean, I hacked his file all the bits, but
Is that the white AMX I saw on your Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
James, you have pictures of that?
I'm
white-
trying. I'm trying. My computer's like, this is too many pictures you show. Maybe.
Maybe.
So you really can't zero you down to any genre at all, huh?
Not really. I've never built any planes yet. I have no desire to build ships at all. I don't know why.
How about a drift car?
Yeah, I've got a couple of drift cars. I was commissioned to build 2 Starship Enterprises and full light kits and the whole 9 yards. These things were a nightmare. I hate them. I've never built another one. The guy that I built the first one for loved it, and he's like, "All right, that was very basic. It has a few lights. How about we do another one with 10 times the lights? It had rotating lights, it had interior lights, it had exterior lights, it had flashers, it had circuit boards I had to wire up." And
Oh, wow.
I hate this thing. Take it away. I don't ever want to see it again. And I'm not ever building another one.
I don't know. There's something about getting paid to build a model, at least for me. Man, it becomes drudgery. Like I just have to.
Yeah.
Anytime when I am forced to kind of work on it, it's just like it's a job. It takes the fun out of it.
I've done a couple of commission builds. One guy wanted me to copy his Viper. Same paint, same string stripes, whatever. Very box stock, no problem. Customer was great, loved it. It was a couple years ago, so it was not nearly my best work at all. And I think I've grown since then, so I'd love to redo it for him. But to build to somebody else's parameters is really hard.
Yeah.
If you said, build me a truck however you want, but I'll pay for it in the end, okay, that takes all that frustration out of it. Like,
Right.
is this going to live up to somebody's want to own?
Yeah, the pressure is different too, because if you build something, and like for me, if I build something, it's not exactly perfect on it. Like, fine, I can live. I'll decide if I can live with it or not. If I really, but if you're building something for somebody else and you're getting paid, they're expecting perfection,
Right?
And so it's like you gotta, I might have to strip it and start all over again. I might have to do whatever because that's you're getting paid to do it. So
right.
Yeah,
So
the pictures are very different.
it's just not enjoyable to do that. I'd rather like that Clarion truck. My buddies saw it kind of come together. He's like, you know what? I'd really love to have that truck. Can I buy it? Nope. There you go. I'll just give it to you.
That's cool.
I hate to try to live up to somebody else's expectation without them even having input in it. But if they like the result in the end, okay, no problem. I've sold a couple, I've given more away than I've sold. There's only one that I really want back that has changed hands enough times that I'll never see it again. But oh well.
Yeah, build another one.
Building exactly. They make more kits every day, so I'll just build another one and be better now this time than I was the first time around. So.
Right.
So what kind of things do you have on your workbench right now?
I've got a Bathing Ape R35. It's the pink camo. I don't have any of them with me. If I was out at the dining room table, I'd have a dog fighting for camera space. So I had to kind of lock myself away. But there's a R35 Bathing Ape car and a KPGC 110 Liberty Walk Skyline that I'm doing for another build off. Just a really basic box stock, but it's midnight purple, which it shouldn't be, being that old of a Skyline. But that's the other great thing that I love about this over 1-to-1 stuff, that I can paint a Skyline midnight purple too for $13 instead of $3,400 for the gallon of paint that it would take to paint the real one. Like, it's so much easier to do that.
What's your go-to paint guy?
Scale finishes.
Okay.
They kind of fill all the needs that I've used. I've just started to dabble into tropical glitz.
Oh, really? Okay.
For a lot of their candies and metal flake stuff.
Never tried them.
It's great. They have ready to spray. I think they're 3-ounce, maybe 5-ounce bottles.
Okay.
And they're all ready to spray. They're like $12 a bottle.
It's not bad.
Guys,
especially for a big bottle.
Right. They also sell spray paint, like the same paint in a spray can.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never been big on spray cans. So
Sean down there, he can rock a spray can.
Right?
I'll use, I mean, I've gotten more comfortable with the airbrush. I'm really liking my new gallery airbrush, and now that I've started to get, figure some things out, and I'm getting good result. I just airbrushed the CUDA, but I'll still use spray cans if there's something available. I'm not afraid of them. I was going to ask you guys a question, because have any of you guys ever used nail polish to paint them up?
A long time ago, I tried it.
I've got a gasser project going on right now, and I was like, there's some really weird colors and pearlescent combinations. There's some oddball stuff that you can get in nail finishes that you can't get through any of the traditional paint manufacturers. And for this gasser project, I was like, I really want something weird, so I was considering doing a nail polish finish.
Just get a lacquer nail polish and lacquer thinner.
Make sure you base coat it similar color of what you want it to be, because nail polish is very translucent.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking I could probably do like a pearl white base or something like that.
Okay. But yeah, say if you're doing like a blue nail polish, I would paint it blue first and then paint the nail polish over top of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you go pearl white, you might end up with a very milky.
Okay. Good tip. And would you use the Mr. Hobby leveling thinner with that, or just like a lacquer thinner?
I think Mr. Hobby leveling thinner would probably do well with it, but regular lacquer thinner is fine too.
Okay.
Yeah, you just can't get gel nail polish.
Right.
Apparently, it's going to be a lacquer. I don't know. I don't really know much of the difference, but I was told to avoid gel nail polish.
Okay.
Not really sure why.
I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. Lots of cool pearls and stuff like that.
Yeah, weird candy colors and stuff like that. And so anyway.
Check out Tropical Glitz to see because they have a ton of candies and pearls and some really wild colors that mix together, and they're even crazier.
Do you have the ability to tell them extra small flake? Because I see that's real big with the lowrider guys, because they want the bigger flake.
his cosmic silver, I think, is what I've used. Seems to be a very small flake.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if they have the ability to change that or not.
Okay. All right.
Because he does do mostly automotive paints,
Right.
and they are based on automotive. But I don't think he changes the flake size.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I spray through a 0.5 needle, and I don't have any issues with the flake.
Okay.
So
All
they
right.
must be small enough. I'm not
Okay.
really sure.
Sometimes they look a little bit out of scale. I mean, depending on, like, for a stock car, I would, to me, the flakes look a little bit big. But if you're doing like a low rider or a custom, and you want a big glittery, I think kind of
Right.
cool. Yeah.
I
Right.
hate to go down this route, but the guys that go to AutoZone and buy a can of Duplicolor metallic red or something, that flake's too big,
Right.
for
Very
a scale.
And one of the things that I started using these little metallic, little Tamiya, bottle paints and airbrushing that. And one of the things I really like about it is their metallics are really fine. Like their pearls and stuff are.
Look into Mr. Hobby GX series, Sean. I think you'll really, really like their metallics.
Okay.
Super fine metallic in those.
All right.
They have like 7 or 8 different shades, and I think you really like them.
If you can find them in stock anywhere,
Right.
which is seemingly very hard lately.
Yeah. Just do an internet search. You might get it out of Texas or something. I suppose we could add James Duff back to stage.
Yeah, I was going to say, he sort of disappeared from us. There he is.
The computers decided that was enough of that. So, and as we were saying,
Are there any other models that you'd sent pictures of?
yeah, he did. Let's see if we can make the computer not explode here. Let's see. We were talking about this one prior to. It was like I'm sitting here trying to get the picture to load. It won't load. I tried to download it a second time. It wouldn't. Eventually, this whole screen disappeared. I could hear you guys talking, but I couldn't see anything anymore.
Yeah, there's.
So here's the AMX that we were discussing a second ago.
It's the same chassis you said as the Camaro?
Yes. Yeah. Thankfully, the wheelbase was right, but the height and the width were not even close. So I just kind of had to cut the roof line and most of the whole tail section out of the chassis to fit that body.
And did that engine come with that chassis, or do you pull that out of something else?
That's a Scale Speed Garage Pro Charger engine. And those are the valve covers that I put J-Dog Racing on the valve covers.
Oh, neat.
That's fun.
Hey, look at you. Zoom right in.
That's right. When it works, when it works, it works. When it doesn't work, oh. So you also were discussing the tropical glitz, and this is another fun one, just because I know the build up that you did this for, but it's also another like, hey, look at this. This is something completely different. We have this thing.
Wow.
It's a pretty nice looking lowrider.
Thanks. That was for the Iceman Collections tournament.
Oh.
That just wrapped up about a month ago. So we could just sit back here while you talk about this for the next half an hour, because I mean, this is obviously not just like, oh yeah, I got that Revell lowrider and I painted it fancy colors. There's more to this than just it's out of the box.
But I started with the Revell lowrider.
Obviously, but beyond that,
because those old Revell lowrider kits had the separate frame, which is perfect. So I screwed this up a couple of times. It had to get stripped twice in the course of this build off.
Mm.
And I started looking at it, I'm like, all right, it's a 63 Impala. I also did it as 63 because NNL East's 63 is this theme coming up. So this will be at NNL East on the 63 table. So I started like looking at all my other kits for Impalas. I'm like, all right, I can't strip this body one more time. This is horrible. But all the other 63 Impalas I have are the newer AMT, and all the chassis are built in. And none of the parts fit from the Revell to the AMT. None of the parts.
Yeah, they're very different.
They're very different.
What was causing you to have to strip the paint?
I don't know if I had not primed it well enough, or whenever I went to tape over the base, it would pull the base up.
Mm.
The second time I had gotten all the side graphics done and to kind of match the hood and the trunk, and I hated it. I put the airbrush down from painting the sides, and I absolutely hated it. And I took it from the airbrush stand and put it right in the tank. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I hate it so much. So then I just put the blue back down. That's Tropical Glitz. Miami Beach is the color of that blue. The roof is all, that's just Tamiya black sprayed through lace.
Oh, wow.
And it was for that build off, and I knew I had to really kind of step up big time to try to even compete in that build off group. So I hinged the trunk, hinged the hood different, suicided the doors. First time I'd ever really cut up a car that much and tried to make the hood and trunk working as hinges. They didn't, so now they're posed open because it just didn't work. 3D printed wheels, all the air pumps, the speakers in the back, those are all 3D printed. I don't know if I sent you a picture of the engine or not. It's a 572, I think. I'm not really sure.
See the little chain link holding the suspension. It's kind of neat.
The suspension was from a company called MADZ, MADZ, and it's put together so you can use pen springs and it will actually articulate.
Wow.
But I screwed that up and I didn't have it articulate, so I just posed it because I knew I wanted it three-wheeling anyway.
Right.
So it wasn't really important to me that it did move. So I just kind of made it not move. But yeah, that didn't do so well in the tournament. I got knocked out in the second round.
Oh,
but man. I got knocked out in the second round by the guy who won it all. So it makes it
feel a little better, right?
A bit easier to deal with. Yeah.
I tell you, those lowriders guys, there's a lot of those really good builders that build in that genre. We should look at that and see who might be a good guest to have on there, because I'd love to learn more about some of the painting techniques that they do and
the masking and stuff, right?
Armando, I think it's Arnaldo or Armando Flores.
Flores, yeah.
Does crazy, insane lowrider builds, and they are inspiring. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, I
572 with
go.
a
I had to go steal it off your Facebook page, but there it is.
the cross rim Weber side draft carburetors. I thought that came out pretty cool.
Yeah.
And again, I took valve covers and snatched the Impala symbol and spear off of something else
Neat.
and put them on those valve covers.
That's cool.
I look forward to seeing that at East. It's
Thanks.
very cool build.
Thank you very much.
Is there a genre car that you want to build but haven't had a chance to build yet? Or is there one you're afraid to tackle?
So I know you guys have this conversation, like the whole I'm not good enough to build these cars. So
Go
I've got
on.
I know you'll love this one, shit. So I've got a couple of old AMC Rambler wagons that right when I got back into the hobby, I'm like, oh, they make all kinds of AMC stuff. Oh, it's really expensive. Okay. So I bought 2 of these Rambler kits. And they're in a box. They've been in a box for 3 or 4 years now, and I'm not good enough to build them. But I will at some point build them. And that's kind of where I haven't ventured yet into the classic car builds, I guess. I've built one 55 Chevy. I've never built a 57 Chevy, a 56. Like, American classic cars really, they just don't do it for me really that much. The 55 I built as Mike Finnegan's Blasphemy.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then I sent it to Finnegan, and he opened it on his YouTube channel.
Oh, neat.
Thought it was great, and I'll never see that again. But whatever. But that's the only 55 I've ever done. I just don't do American cars like that. I don't know. I guess that's the one genre that I don't need to build, I guess.
Yeah.
That Pro Mod Camaro is the only Camaro I have. I built a GT3 or GT4 Mustang, whatever the new to me is. That GT4. GT4. That's the only Mustang I own. I just don't. I don't know. American cars just don't do it.
Yeah, American trucks and foreign cars.
Yeah.
So, direct all hate mail to
That guy down there.
Unless it was built by AMC, and I love AMCs. I had a Javelin for a while.
Oh, neat.
So you probably went crazy when Andre made all those AMCs, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, because I spent the big money and bought a couple of the originals.
Oh,
That Pro Mod AMX is one of the original Johan kits that I'm just like, yep, hack. Didn't care if I cut it up or not. Didn't bother me at all. I still have lots of those parts left over, and that's what I wanted to do to it. I cut up a Mang F350, and I used very little of that kit too, and that's a $400 kit most days.
That's a neat truck. This one, that thing. I was another one. Was that in an unleased?
No.
Just seen it on your Instagram page, but I saw it. I was like, oh man, that thing is super cool.
Thanks.
And you're right. That's an expensive, rare kit now.
Right. And I've got most of it still left in the box.
That's just
service bed.
that's just what the cab and the interior, right? Everything else is
Yeah.
from
somewhere else.
Whose service bed file is that?
I honestly don't know. I don't remember where or whose file it was, but it was definitely a 3D printed service bed.
Yeah. And what a lot of people don't, I think, you look at that, and you see a lot of 3D printed parts, and it would be easy to say, oh, you just threw a bunch of parts at it. What people don't realize is there's a lot of working of these parts to get them to fit and work in what you're doing. It's not just like they come right off the printer and you just throw it on your model. Like, there's usually a level of modification and to make them work, especially if you start swapping in an engine and a chassis, you're going to do a bit of cutting and hacking on it. And I don't know about you, but I end up, adding material to them in order to make them work within the context that I'm trying to use them. So,
Or
yeah.
have modify the kit frame to fit the wheelbase, then to fit the bed.
Right.
On that welding truck, I think I printed maybe 6 of those beds before I got the one to fit, because the file didn't come to the right wheelbase, but I didn't want to change the wheelbase of the truck because it looked right.
Yeah.
So I had to change the length of the welding bed.
Okay.
But thankfully, resin's really cheap, and all it takes is time. But there is a ton of time in 3D printing stuff.
Mm.
Checkbook modeling. Oh.
Yeah, we said that years ago when turned aluminum stuff started popping up in model cars.
Yeah, and resin kits and stuff too. But...
yeah, I give all the scratch building guys all the credit in the world. I can't scratch build anything. I'm just horrible at it. These guys that turn out engines that are scratch built or suspension parts that are scratch built, all the credit in the world to those guys. I will just hit print and play in 3D Builder for a couple hours, hit print, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think you're being you're putting a level of effort in it that's still very valuable and difficult too. It's just in a different way. And like you said, there's a lot of trial and error with the 3D parts. There's a certain skill level and talent to being able to manipulate the files in order to get what you want out of it. And it's just a different type of skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's you're 100% correct.
And what I was making reference to is something we talked about last episode, and I think it's because we did see the same sort of. It's all checkbook modeling when resin and photo etch and stuff like that came out. Is that if you haven't done it or haven't, especially if you're printing it yourself, because buying it from somebody else, it usually comes cleaned up already to a certain extent. Might be on a runner carrier to keep it from breaking, but you're not washing it and curing it and all the other steps that go in after you print it. But I think also, because frankly it would be boring if you actually showed the process in real life, is that you go, hey, look, I got this 3D stuff, and then it's like, hey, look at this model I built, and everybody just sort of, who doesn't deal with it, sort of just assumes that oh, it's easy. Yeah, I think you got the 3D stuff, and then he glued that tire on there on that rack, and then he glued the rack to the bed, and oh, look, that's just cheating. I had to build that out of popsicle sticks and Elmer's glue back in my day, and it's like nobody sees that the making the sausage middle part of any project, and I think that gives the idea that that it's easier. It's like PE. Oh, I got 5 sheets of PE. That's not fair. Yeah, but you had to make the PE fit whatever it was, bend it around whatever it was going, and not kink it up in the process. Yeah. Now from doing the Bathing Ape decals, applying a wrap worth of decals James knows too, because all the stuff he does, like that's a lot of work that goes into that. That's a day and a half, 2 days worth of decaling. Yeah, it looks nice when it's done, but you weren't there for that the middle part where it was 3 seconds away from flying across the room because the decal split, and now you're trying to piece it back together like a tiny jigsaw puzzle where it won't show in the final product. Like there's a lot of middle ground in projects that don't get shown, and you only see the beginning and the end, and it's easy.
Right.
Yeah, no 3D printed, just because you buy something 3D printed doesn't mean it fits or it's what you wanted, or I've seen, we talked about it a little bit, and I've seen it on your Facebook, you fight with a GTR engine and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I bought this file and it sucks, so it's not that it wasn't plug and play. It's none of that stuff is. Even some of the stuff that's designed for it doesn't fit,
Right. And after I had got that engine all printed perfect, I painted it, I carbon fibered the intake tubes, I knocked it off the table and it shattered into a bajillion pieces, and start from the beginning again. I was so pissed. Like, and that's what blows my mind about, like, some of these guys spend $20, $30, $40 on a bunch of 3D parts that they're buying, but you're relying on that's going to fit and that's going to go together. You're not going to break anything. Like, and it happens a lot. Like, I mean, I'm pretty ham-fisted with some of these parts, but I break stuff all the time. I'll purposely print 2 or 3 on the same build plate of the small little parts. If I lose one, I don't want to go reprint the whole plate. I'll make a couple extra copies, throw them in a drawer, because I'll break them, I'll lose them.
That's the problem right there. So if you're like me and you just bought the parts, then you're like, I've only got one. So
right.
Say our good buddy John Sweber, when he's doing his race car stuff, and say I've talked to him a number of times, he buys 2 sheets of every set of decals that he buys because he wants that backup set. It's like, I appreciate that. I'm flying with the wind there. I got one set of it works. It works. So tell us this. We've decided to make a Jeep into a hot rod here.
So I actually built a Jeep into a hot rod in 1-to-1 scale before I did that one.
Like the one they
cheating.
I had a CJ7 that I built, rebuilt, changed around again, and then one day I was like, "Yep, I think these are cool. I'm gonna do this." So I bought a Speedway Motors drop axle, and kind of just how you see it, it turned out in real life. This is a CJ5 because it's the Daisy Duke CJ5 kit. And the real one I built was a CJ7, but it kind of looks exactly like that. Motor hanging out, was a big AMC 304 with the lake pipes on the side. And
your neighbors hated you, didn't they?
I didn't have it for that long, thankfully, so they didn't get the full experience of it. I built it, took it to a car show, drove it around, and then sold it a couple of months later, and never seen it again. And I just had to build a small one to remember it by.
That's insane.
And that was pretty early on in my comeback. So I look at this, I'm like, oh, that's horrible. I could do so much better with that now. But yeah, it kind of looked like that. It was a danger contraption.
Love it.
I'm going to take what is arguably already an unsafe vehicle and then chop it up and make it into something totally unsafe now.
Right? And make sure
at least that wouldn't roll over.
Right? Yeah, it turned a lot of heads at the car show. People were like, what? I don't know if they were amused by it or frightened
It's
by it.
shocked, right?
How is that? Because it was super loud. I mean, it was just open
Right.
headers
Yeah.
and super loud.
Neat.
And you had a big grin on your face, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I can just build that the next day. That's what makes this hobby so great.
Completely. Yeah. So is that
I-
airbrushed and like,
Yeah.
or is there decals?
All the paint is airbrushed,
Okay.
but then there are the monster decals.
Okay.
I say this isn't a real. This isn't a real car. This is an imagination.
Right. I saw a picture of this. I stole this livery. There was a guy who built it for, I guess, a video game called iRacing. I don't know if it's what platform it's on or anything, but I saw a picture of it. And I'm like, yep, I drink a lot of Monster. I want to build that car. And got the Monster decals from some NASCAR kit and just kind of made it close enough to this. And yeah.
And is that a matte finish? Like
Yes.
spray it matte over the.
Yep.
So you painted, airbrushed the sort of rainbow pattern, put your decals on, then flat cleared the whole thing.
Correct. Yep.
Neat.
That's fun.
It's a little Ty Gibbs Toyota in there because you got the Jordan logo on there from the NASCAR kit too. Thank you, Salvinas Jr.
Very cool.
I like it. I'm not a very big person on fantasy liveries, but I do like that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a fantasy livery. I saw it. I just assumed it was another one of the, because I mean those cars all have weird, kind of wild paint jobs, and I didn't think anything unusual about it. I didn't know it was a fictional livery, but now I like it even better.
Yep. I just randomly came across it one day, scrolling on Instagram or whatever. And like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yep, completely made up for a video game.
Instagram's dangerous, children.
It is.
It sends you down some rabbit hole you didn't even know you needed to go down.
Right?
Palette SS.
I was gonna say, I noticed we've shaved the door handles off.
Yep. The door handles and the bottom scuff panel on the doors.
Okay.
Other than that, it's pretty stock, minus the wheels. Those were left over from the 63 Impala that I did. I did 2 sets of wheels because I didn't know if I wanted 13s or 14s. So I shoved the other ones on this. For another build off, it was a Revell themed. You had to use a Revell kit, and that's just the Revell 95, 94 SS.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a 572. Yeah, there's a 572 with an EFI cross ram EFI under there.
You like to mix lowriders and big horsepower.
I do. I don't. This fits good. Yep, that fits.
You should cross all of your interests and make the big donk 30-inch wheels on a lowrider.
Yeah.
Overlanding lowrider.
Low riding trophy truck. You saw it here first.
Rider or
There is a place for donks. I don't know where that place is, but there is a place for them somewhere.
It takes a lot of horsepower to turn those wheels, I tell you what.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like that's a Florida thing, isn't it? like a Miami thing, like those Impalas with 1,000 horsepower and the 30-inch wheels.
Florida, like Alabama, Louisiana, yeah,
Bama.
Yeah. Right.
Neat stuff. So what kind of, if you had your choice of any brand new all new model kit, what would be on your wish list?
It's, I don't know, it's tough because they're making them. Like Andre put up the Javelin and the AMX, and there's so much that is coming out that I'm newly discovering, like, oh, that you can just import that to the States now. All right. I don't know. It hasn't come across my mind yet, like what I want for a newly tooled kit that isn't available yet.
And
I love the modifications that Round 2 did to the S10 to update the grill to a 99 plus style. That's great. Like, that's one of those kits that was missing.
right. That's actually a really nice kit. I've considered building one too. I got an early production sample of that one, and it came at a time when I was building a couple other things and I didn't want to get distracted, but I've looked at that kit and go, I should build this thing. It's actually a nice kit.
I'm looking forward to that because you can build the square bodies, you can build the 94, 95s,
right?
And now you can build 99 and up. So you can do pretty much the whole range. And there's companies out there making the Cyclones and the Typhoons. So like all that stuff's available, which is this whole 3D printed is amazing. Like what's available now.
Yeah.
It's almost limitless.
This is a Ferrari Boxer or 512 Berlinetta.
Yeah, it's a 512 BB.
Yeah, okay. And who makes that kit?
That's Fujimi, yep.
Fujimi.
That's one of the red box Ferrari whatever they say. It's Ferrari light.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Did it come with an engine?
Yep. That's completely out of the box.
Okay.
Yep.
You didn't send me this, but I've seen it, and I like the fact that we didn't go Ferrari red.
It's an unusual Ferrari paint scheme.
And you followed the stripe down the bottom of it. I like that.
Yeah, it's off-centered.
Ferrari color, though. It's couldn't even come up with the name of the Ferrari paint, but it is a Ferrari blue.
Okay.
And a Ferrari yellow for the stripe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Model.
I don't have any red. I have one red car model. I just don't like painting red. I don't like red cars in general. So
you and
as soon as I got this kit, I'm like, yep, it's not gonna be red. Let's get something else.
Are you a big kit collector, or like all three of us were all like, we have deep stashes of kits, but I know some people are, try to keep their stash small. How about you?
Mine's right around 100, somewhere in there.
That's rookie numbers.
That's good. Rookie numbers in this racket. You got to pump them numbers up.
Right? Well, you're not helping with that, James.
No. I'm here to make sure the people that I like stay in business.
Right? Nah, I mean, I have more than I'll build, I'm sure. But I just ordered 2 more today, so, why not?
I don't know. Are you for me, it seems like I always want to build the thing I don't have, right? I've got plenty to build, but the one I get inspired was like, oh, I got an idea. I'm going to need a kit.
Right? Yeah. Like based on that one Bathing Ape car that I started, I had to buy 3 other kits.
4 more, right?
Plus one that hasn't come out yet. Yeah, so there's 4 that I didn't have that I had to get.
How many models do you build a year? Do you think?
Probably 20-ish.
Oh, okay, that's a lot. Yeah, you're getting about 2 a month. Then that's pretty productive.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 15, 20. I don't know.
That's a
I was
lot.
to say he's building enough that he doesn't remember the things he did to the models. So
Right.
that's
You're cranking through them pretty. That's a lot to be building 2 a month.
Well, it's nice because the build offs are usually like 2 months long.
Yeah.
And I'm doing 2 at a time, usually for different build offs. And
Right.
so,
and most of your builds are not what you've shown there. Those aren't simple, like out of the box. I mean, you're doing a lot of detailing work and some heavy modifications and complicated paint jobs.
but a lot of them are out of the box, like that 512 BB. That's right out of the box, and it wasn't that complicated a paint scheme, just the one stripe.
But getting it right, that's the problem. That's the hard part.
Yeah, and I'm not a perfectionist. Like, there is dog hair in most of my paint jobs. There's a few that I'm like, yep, that's gonna stay right there. I'm not gonna deal with it.
This one's getting a finish.
Right. But I mostly build just for me, and they get stacked on a shelf, and some of them are stacked in a cabinet that is closed, that they'll never see the light of day anymore. So I'm not going to start from scratch in the final stages if I screw it up. Right. I'll just be like, all right, yep, that's another B1, and put it on the shelf. And if I need to do it again, I'll buy another kit and start again if I have to.
Yeah.
But I'm not the perfectionist that's going to take 6 months to put this one part on it perfect. I'm just not.
That's fair.
I'll say as we're finishing out our season 2 here, the thing that we start to look forward to in spring, because we all get together for it, is NNL East. And we touched on it for a second there, but just, as an idea, for somebody who has been NNL East, you were there for the first time. You can never sort of relive that experience because, you've been there once. But like walking into that gym the first time, like what is that, for somebody who's never been there, what is that experience? Because it's, it's a small local show, just a small local show, no big deal, but there's 1,500 models on the table. Like,
yeah, it was overwhelming for sure. It just nerve-wracking because it was the first show, like filling out the forms, just shaking away, just I don't know what I'm supposed to put on these forms. I don't know where I'm supposed to put my models. And my wife, who's watching this from the other room, I will say that I'm going in, I'm going to be outclassed. I'm outclassed by all of these guys. Just bring your models. Like, it's such a good time because there is such a range from world-class builds to just your average builds to everything in between. It was great. And I'm not a super social person. I'm not going up to everybody and asking about their models, saying hello to everybody. I knew 3 people in that room. And it was still a great time. It was overwhelming for sure, but to see the class of models on those tables was amazing. Because I had never experienced, oh, other people do this? Like, I knew I wasn't alone,
right?
But I didn't know there was that many people that cared about these little cars.
Yeah,
they do. They do.
Yeah, down the sidewalk and around the building.
You should definitely feel proud. I mean, there was some really very good modelers there that took note of your work. And we were all kind of standing around, oh man, who's this guy? That thing is really cool. So
Who is this guy? Right.
I appreciate it a lot. I really do. And I'm so thankful that I've actually connected with all three of you kind of separately over decals or the show or this and that. It's great. I appreciate it a lot.
As I said, now we solved the nobody knows your problem, so enjoy talking to everybody in New Jersey that's coming here.
Which will be great. It'll add to the experience there. But,
right. So ask this question. You know the question that's coming. It's the end of the show. Ask everybody. You watched all the episodes. So, John, what is your Magnus Opus build?
So I have prepared my answer for this because I've watched enough of these. And it's stuff that I've been collecting for a while that I want to do a Mitsubishi Fuso transporter with every year Evo on it.
Ooh.
I've got most of the kits. I actually picked a couple of detail upsets today and some trans kits for some of the Evos, but I want to kind of display 1 through 10 on the Mitsubishi transporter and just kind of have that as a one bulk kind of display.
So that old Nito transporter, not the easiest kit in the world to build. So in for a trip there, and then you've got to try to find an old Hasegawa Lancer and Lancer 2. Or Evo and Evo 2, technically.
Right.
Which I don't know that they exist anymore. I think Hasegawa might have took it and made an Evo 1 and then made an Evo 2 and then made the Evo 3, which is where that Evo 3 comes out all the time, because they haven't ever reissued any of those kits. I found an Evo 2. Or no, excuse me, I found a Lancer. But an Evo 2 escapes me. I've chased one of those for years now to be able to have them all, and I'm not paying $200 for one. So,
and it will probably come down to it's going to be a Lancer 2, like it'll be the Lancer that moved into the Evo. But yeah, there'll be a Mitsubishi display.
I like it.
Neat. Fun.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. Once again, we have come to the end of the show. I would like to thank Sean and James both for once again giving up another year of their life to this enterprise. Every other Monday, they drag themselves in here, whether they want to or not, stay up past their bedtime. So again, I appreciate them joining me and making the show successful. John, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
And we will be back.
I was going to say thank you, Mr. Duff, for hosting us every other month and putting this podcast together. We couldn't do it without your technical wizardry and
it's on display today, no doubt.
We tried, huh, Sean?
Yeah, we with mixed results, right? But how many episodes have we done total now?
We are with you on board 34.
Wow.
We did four before that, so me and James are technically at 38. But yeah, this was 19 episodes this year. We did, I think, 14 episodes the year before with you on, because you came on the week before and an Elise, so it's already April. So together we have done 34.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
So assuming the wheels don't fall off, we'll hit 50 sometime in the middle of next year.
Maybe. Well, happy holidays if I don't see you guys, and then happy New Year, and look forward to doing something again next year.
We shall return in January.
Have a great season, guys. Thank you very much,
guys. I'll see you guys at East.
See you out at East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you guys on the other side.
All right. Good night.
Good night.